Running. So good evening and welcome to Mindful Conversations. I am Dr. Lori Monaco with Align Yourself Inc. I am a life coach specializing in transformation and mindfulness practice. I'm also a holistic practitioner, and I'm also known as the Badass Buddha. So welcome to another episode where we get to, or I get to interview amazingly powerful and wonderful people. And you get to listen and be inspired and get great tips on life and living and you name it, and just being your awesome self. And tonight, my beautiful, beautiful guest, she is fabulous, dynamic, and very strong. Her name is Shequana Hughes. And so let me tell you a little bit about this lady because she is fabulous. She really knows how to balance stuff. So the big thing that's going to be our big conversation tonight is about balance, because we always are looking to get more time in our lives, and really it's about self-management and asking the right people to help manage you. So Shequana has been married for almost 20 years. She has 5 beautiful children. Look at her, it's impossible that she has 5 kids. Like, she just looks too fabulous. And would you have them like when you were really young? Because you look so young. Oh my God. So she has 5 beautiful children, and if that isn't enough, she owns a busy virtual assistance firm. She works with entrepreneurs on not trying to do it all and being productive instead of being busy. With over 20 years of administrative experience, Shequana married her love of helping others and entrepreneurship and launched is it SAVA or SAVA? Do you just say SAVA?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, SAVA Group Virtual Assistance Agency in 2016. She now has a team of executive virtual assistants who provide time-saving, stressless support to small business owners all over the U.S. Good evening, Shequana. Thank you for being here. So she's coming from St. Louis, by the way. And so first, before we get started, before we get into the deep stuff, just let the viewers know, because there might be viewers out there that don't understand what virtual assistance is. So give them a little bit of insight into that.
So what a virtual assistant is what you would normally or traditionally see in an office of an administrative support person, or a secretary, as we were called way back in the day. So a secretary, administrative support, so the person who handles everything basically, but who handles the administrative tasks such as email, calendar management. Now, in today's world, there are virtual assistants that handle social media. So just someone that is there for you to help you in your business, to take some of the stress or administrative task off of you. But we are remote, so we are virtual. So we handle all of those things because of technology and the advancements in that technology and all of that. You can do anything pretty much from the comfort of your home. Now that we are seeing in the state that we are in right now, it's pretty limitless of what you can do from home to support individuals with their businesses. And that is basically what we do.
Have you been extra busy with this whole COVID thing?
Yeah, extremely.
That's a good thing.
It is a good thing. It's a little, because not everyone is used to this and having this type of support. We're actually in the process of helping business owners kind of navigate the virtual world, how to work with their teams, how to stay on task, because that can get hard when you're not in the same office as each other. And
right.
So it's made me busy on my own, just trying to help companies and small business owners navigate through that. So I've been doing that through writing blogs and podcasts and interviews and things of that nature. So yeah, it has made me a pretty busy girl.
Yeah, because that was not something that was in your normal everyday description of your job. So this is in addition. And so that COVID just kind of brought that up. It wasn't even something that you had thought of prior to, because it wasn't necessary.
No, it wasn't. I spent a lot of time in the beginning when we were first starting, educating people and kind of teaching them on how things work because they didn't know. Now everyone knows kind of what working with a remote team or working virtually is, but it's hard to navigate that because it is a different arena. It's a different type of world.
Right, right. Yeah.
Mhm.
So with that in mind, so basically what she does is she helps other people balance the amount of work that they have. Not that she doesn't have enough of her own. So she's a wife, a mother of 5. How old? How old are the kids?
My oldest is 18. I have a 13-year-old who will be 14 next week. Okay. And then I have, so the first 2 are girls. And then I have a 12-year-old son. And then I have 4-year-old twin girls.
Oh my gosh, twins to boot. Oh my goodness.
The finale.
That the finale. So listen, so you're a mother of 5, entrepreneur or creator. So that's a lot. I mean, listen, that's a lot in general. And on top of it, your business is to help people balance their lives.
Mm-hmm.
You already have a life that's
It can't be unbalanced.
yeah. So that's incredible. So how do you do it? So how do you find balance? How do you create it for yourself? Do you have like a self-care practice that you do that helps you get through all of that? Because that's a lot, especially right. And the kids were all schooling at home too through all of this as well. So
yes, so one of the great things about what I do, or considering what's going on now, is my kids were used to me being at home. They were used to me working from home. They were used to me having meetings and things like that. They know when mommy's on a call or when mommy has a live. That's been my life for 4 years. So it hasn't been too much of a transition for us. There has been some because they're not used to being home all day. Where I may be in meetings all
and you're
day.
not used to them being home all day either.
Right. But as far as like the children goes and things like that, it's just a matter of communicating.
Yeah.
Even with the twins, even if they don't catch on right away, eventually they get it. Mommy's on a call or mommy, is in a meeting. We have to quiet down. So just kind of explaining to them what's going on, talking to them about what it is that I have going on. I've always been super open with my children and explaining things to them. So they get it. It was an adjustment, but it wasn't as of an adjustment, as someone who's coming from the office and now at home all day.
Yeah.
So it was an adjustment, but it wasn't like a huge adjustment. But as far as like me staying balanced, and I'll speak to myself, which I'm not in this phase anymore, but for anyone who's watching and trying to figure out how to balance it all, a lot of the times we go into things and we have no idea what we actually want, right? And everyone's wants, their life, their schedule, their balance should be different, in my opinion. There's no one size fit all balance.
That's correct. Right.
You have to know what your balance looks like, whether it be in your business, whether it be your job, whether it be your kids. And so it's just a matter of, getting in your own head and writing those things down on paper or putting them on your calendar and things like that. And then after that, after I know what I want, then I have an ironclad schedule. Okay. And if you know me personally, for me to say that is like, are you kidding me? Which they know now as far as business goes. But as far as my schedule goes, as far as my business and when it comes to my family, my schedule is pretty together. I know who's where, when, and how that should look. So having a schedule together, I tell everyone they're not using their phones in the best way. You have a calendar on your phone, you have reminders on your phone, you have an alarm on your phone. And my goal is not for me to have to remember anything. So if I have something that I need to be doing, it goes on my calendar, and then it goes on a reminder on my phone or an alarm or something like that. And it just kind of keeps me going. But knowing where you're going, where you want to be first, and then getting that down on paper and kind of scheduling that out the way that you want it to look. And that has kept me pretty balanced. Like everyone always asks, like, how are you doing all of this? Because my business has grown a lot. Now I'm managing a team of people. So add
Yes.
that to the list of things to do, and it's just a matter of knowing what you want first and then getting that down on paper and getting that organized in whatever way you see fit.
And what do you like to do for self-care? What do you like to do
What do I like to do for
to reboot yourself?
I am a huge family person. I'm very family oriented. And I know that's not like self care, but I love being with my children, around my children. I feel good when I'm with them, so that I make sure that I schedule time for family time and being around them, because a lot of the times we have mommy guilt. And that doesn't feel good, and that's not self care. So having that time in there. As far as like self-care, like what do I do alone? Um, I hang out. I don't want to lie to you all. I like to hang out with my kids, and people may not think that that's
That's
self-care, but
okay.
that is self-care for me. I love being around my children. I love for us to be doing things and activities together, and that's self-care for me. Family.
Listen, it's not judgment, because that's the thing with
Yeah.
mindfulness. Mindfulness practice teaches us to not judge. And so, and just as you said, figuring out what it is that you want, there's not a one size fits all for creating balance. There's not a one size fits all either for self-care. The fact that you know that being with your kids brings you joy, and that it is a relaxing moment for you, then that is your self-care. And it's great to have that awareness. And it is, what are some of the things you like to do with the kids?
We sing. TikTok has been like bomb. I know everyone else hates it, but I love to dance. We love to sing. We're a very entertaining family. Okay. So but like dancing, anything having to do with dancing, singing, I love to talk and hear what's going on in their heads. I'm a big talker. What's going, especially now, like how are you feeling in all of this? I call them family meetings. And like how are you doing all this? How are you feeling? What's going on in your mind and all that without, we just sit and we talk and we have conversations and kind of get it all out. And those are the things that make me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
That's nice. No, that's really nice. And sometimes we feel like you said, that you don't want to lie. You're like, it's my kids. And there's always this like pressure that says, oh, if you're going to practice self-care, it has to be like alone time, and you have to get away. I mean, if you genuinely love and are passionate about being around your children, then that's great. And it's still even okay as a parent to say, no, I need a little break from my kids.
Right.
I need that alone time. The point is just as long as you recognize what it is that allows you to ground yourself. Because to be a great parent and to be a great business owner and to be, just a great individual, you have to know what works for you. And I think that's beautiful. I always wanted like an absolutely huge family. I have 3, but I just was always like, and I always have kids over, or I'm always like kids' friends are over, because I'm the same way. I love kids. And yes, I do need my little break sometimes, but I do. It's just the laughter. Plus I think with children too, is they get you, when you view them this way and say, they remind you of how you used to be, or they remind you to keep that child piece of you going,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yes, you probably go down a slide or two if you go to the playground, right? You're not the sidelines. You're not sitting in the sidelines. You're like participating, right? Is that you?
Yep. 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 My kids are always like, Mom, you are doing more than the kids are doing. But I will come back. I thought of something that most of my self-care time is either when the house is quiet and everyone's asleep, or during, before everyone gets up. And I do a lot of visualizing.
Good.
I'm a huge dreamer. And so I do a lot of visualizing. So I visualize a lot, just like the life that I want, again, knowing what I want, and things like that. So that's a huge part of self-care for me.
Yes, and and I'm the same way. The morning time is perfect. Everybody's sleeping, including the pets. And
Yeah.
I know, yeah, it's that moment, and it's the when it's just the light starting to come up, and it's very it's regenerating for me, but it's also that it's like a spiritual connection as well, you know. So that's fantastic. So how would you say, you know, how you like your past, how's your past created your present? You know, what can you take from what you've learned in your lifetime? And sorry, my dog jumps in every so often and puts her she'll start whining in a minute, and it's very annoying because nobody's willing to sneak her out of the room. But how has your past created your present? Like what have you learned from things, your experiences in your past that have made you who you are today?
It's funny that I just said that, and you asked that question, which I knew you were going to ask it, but it's just funny how it came up. But I feel like that I have created the life that I have wanted. And so things that I visualized, that I thought of in the past that I wanted to happen, I of course had to put action behind that. But I feel like knowing that the things that I am doing now, the visualizing that I am doing now is going to create my future. So it's the same thing from my past to my present. Just knowing that I have a lot of control over what it is, the life that I want to lead, the life that I want to live. And I don't think that we as humans, as women, realize how much control we have over our lives.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, so I do feel like the things that I have worked for in the past has created my present. And lots of lessons in there along the way, failures, you know, and things like that. But definitely that.
So were you ever taught that? Like, was that just something that you sort of figured out as, you know, you were growing up?
I think my mother may have taught me that without knowing she was teaching me that, by the way that she lived her life and the things that she did to create her future. Because my mother was a teenage mom, like a very young teenage mom, and just kind of beat all the odds, you know, whatever statistic that could have happened, she did that, and it was through her work and knowing what she wanted for herself and going after those things, that created the life that she has now, the life that she was able to create for my brother and I, the life that, you know, my children get to experience because of her. So she didn't tell me those things, but I learned those things from her through her actions. And
That's
it's kind
fantastic.
of that I try to live my life as a mother too, not necessarily telling my kids what to do, but just showing them, you know,
Yes.
how to do it. So
That's
yeah.
the most powerful. That's
Mhm.
the powerful way to do it.
Yeah. So
Because,
yeah, I would say that she taught me that growing up. She probably didn't know that she was teaching me that, but I think that yeah, it was something that was taught to me.
you know, because you said, I mean, that is huge, because actions do speak louder than words, you know. And in fact, I think most of the time we tend to be more wordy. Like we say, oh, do this, do this. But if we're not following suit with what we said, kids pick that up. Kids pick that up at a very young age. They'll realize very rapidly, oh, well, you know, my parent says this, but then they do this, and then actually it ends up like sinking in and become a habitual practice for them. So when they get older, they start doing that, and then the parents like, why are you doing this? And they
That's all you're doing it.
say, well, you used to.
That's what I was taught. You were
Yeah,
teaching me something, not
that's right.
knowing that you were teaching me something. Kind of like I just said about my mom. She would
That's
have.
right. And you know, I love it because you're you're a very empowering mom. You know, because you must be a very empowering boss as well. Like, it's just people, when they meet you, they'll look at you, and they can't say anything but say, oh my God, you know, like, Shequana's like really powerful because she just does it. She just does it. If she says she's going to do it, she does it.
Yeah.
And you back that up, and that's absolutely fantastic. So
Yeah.
you started your own business 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so within, how long ago did you get the team going?
We have been a team about 18 months to 2 years. So
That's
2 years
that's
in.
fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't wait long because things happened, kind of progressed fast quickly. I started to receive a lot of referrals from the clients that I was working with, like, oh, this is great. And so I knew from the very beginning that I wasn't going to be able to handle, and it was a part of my business plan initially to have a team. So I knew that I was going to need people to help me, but I also knew that there were going to be other women like me who wanted the opportunity to work from home. And so it was a part of my vision in the very beginning of me starting my business. And so when the time came and I was able to, or I wouldn't even say that I was able to, but when that time came and I felt like I needed some help, I got some as soon as possible. And we just kind of grew from there. My team grew also through networking, because we have different skill sets within our team. So, there may be someone who's really good at graphic design or social media or something like that. And so, just through networking and meeting people, like, hey, is this something that you would be interested in? Kind of growing my team that way as well. So I didn't wait long to grow. No.
Were you in a job before and you had to, like, you kind of got pushed into starting your own business, or was this like a conscious decision, like, I want to start my own business?
I have actually been in business for myself since 2007. I've dabbled in different things. I went to school and got my aesthetics license, and I started a mobile spa. So the entrepreneurial spirit was in me. It was just that I loved assisting people. I like helping people. I'm a person who acts from a place of service.
Yes.
And so I was like, I love doing that. Why aren't I doing, I wasn't passionate about aesthetics. I wasn't passionate about facial. So why am I doing that as a business and not doing what I actually love to do? And I didn't realize at the time that virtual assisting was what it was. But after I did some research and found it out, I was like, okay, I can do this.
And you're passionate about it. You really like it a lot, huh?
Yes. It's been amazing. When people say that you take something that you love and you turn it into a business, that's exactly what I did.
It is like when you're getting paid and you're living your passion and getting paid to do it. It's such a win-win.
Yes.
It's gratifying, and what you do is so important, because any element of a company, there's always a piece. I mean, you literally take out having to hire somebody to do that, and even hiring somebody sometimes cannot do what virtual assistants do, because you sometimes have to hire multiple people to do, like you said, you have, each person has a different skill set, and that means that you would have to find that within somebody that you hire. So virtual assistant has become really, really necessary, especially with the reach that a lot of companies want to have, along with social media. So, I mean, because some of it, like, I mean, I navigate things on my own, and I'm setting up, I'm at that level where a virtual assistant is going to be beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
And so tell everybody what some of the pieces are to your business that would help other people.
So in today's terms, I'm just going to speak. It's not something that we've always done, but again, the opportunity created itself, and we're in the process now of kind of pivoting or shifting, I guess, some of our services, because what I found is that entrepreneurs, they need assistance from a virtual assistant, but they also need systems. So if you don't have systems in place, it's going to be hard for you even to have a virtual assistant. And it was an issue that I ran into a lot when I first started my business, and like relationships wouldn't work out, and just, people, it wasn't kind of working. I'm like, what is going on here with this? And it was that they did not have systems in place. So we are now working with companies to get their systems in order and help them be more productive in their business. So instead of hiring someone for 40 hours a week, if you have the right systems in place, you may only need someone for 20 or 30 hours a week. You know, it may
Right.
save you 10 hours. So that's a way that we help people. So initially when people come to us, if they don't have their systems together, that's the first thing that we work with them on. Just getting their systems up and running, getting them kind of organized in the way that they want to have their business, to create that balance. A lot of people are in business and they are stressed to the max. Okay.
Yes.
Stress to the max. So our job is to come in and kind of relieve some of that stress. But if you don't have systems in place, it's hard for us to do that.
What's an example of a system? Like, what are you referring to?
So a project management system. So we help our clients set up project management systems. And that's like the first system that I believe that you should have, because what it does is it takes everything in your head, your strategies, you know, where your business is going, and it puts it into a system. And so we go in, we organize that to the point, even like your personal life, for instance, you know, your schedule is in that place. You may have a place where you do a brain dump in that system, and everything is right there in that system. Your goals, you know, your financial goals, you know, and it keeps it front of mind. There's an app, you know, for most of the systems that we set up for our clients, that you can have right on your phone, or you can have it on the computer. And then another big one is a business management tool. So a business management tool can set your business up in a way. I know traditionally, you know, you would have to be the person to send, or your assistant would send a proposal or send a contract, or, you know, something like that. There are business management tools that are available to people today. You can set it up where those things automatically go out to someone that you're working with. So that's another system that we use frequently. And it just saves you a load of time, you know, keeps everything cohesive and, you know, streamlined, and everyone is getting the same type of service, you know, and all those kinds of things. So those are systems.
That's, you know, what's beautiful about what you do is that you give people their lives back, and that's priceless, really. That really is, because, you know, it's not back in the day when, you know, you had a company, had a business, and you did things a certain way, and you would clock in at this time and you would clock out at that time, and then you'd be done with it until the next day. It's like nothing shuts down 100%. And to stay competitive, you always have to have that edge. You have to be, you know, putting this here and putting that there, and you save that piece, you know, like you because otherwise, you're right, we are stressed to the max. Business owners, we take it on ourselves a lot of time to say, well, I'm not really in a place to hire somebody, but I got to get this done. And that's where especially a virtual assistant can come in, when you're not quite at a level to spend money on an employee. Mm-hmm. You do need the extra help, because it's an expense, but it's not as expensive as having, you know, an employee. And when you can.
And a lot of businesses today, a lot of people running businesses don't even have a building for their assistant to come to.
That's true.
A lot of us are running businesses from our homes or from a co-working space, or, you know, something like that. So where are you going to house this assistant that's coming in? But yeah, it definitely saves you on office equipment, you know, virtual assistants or contractors, freelancers, whatever you want to call them, are responsible for their own equipment and, you know, their own taxes and those types of things. So it saves you a ton on that. And yeah, it's a great thing to have.
Have you ever had a weird request, like, you know, for somebody, like, did that company ever ask you to do something that was like just out of the ordinary? You're smiling like you think you remember something.
I'm trying to think. Okay, I'm going to say no, not really, because I am very clear on what it is that we do up front. Now, we've done some personal assisting type things, like run and get something for someone, but that's not typically our area of expertise. But when someone starts to work with us, we outline everything that we're doing. Not that we're not flexible with our clients, but they pretty much know where we stand and what our, areas of genius are, or, you know, the things that we're great at. So no, I haven't gotten anything like super duper weird. Maybe when I was working in corporate America, I made some
Okay,
weird
good.
or something like that, but not since I've been in business. Because I try to make sure that we're, you know, making sure that we have expectations set up front on their end and our end of what, you know, they expect from us, what we expect from them. And that's kind of like another thing that people have to get used to. When you have an assistant in your office, this is like your employee. Having a virtual assistant is different in that sense. So, you know, it costs to be the boss. So we're, like I said, you're not having to pay for equipment, you're not having to pay for taxes, but this is also not your employee either. So they
Right.
kind of have control over the things that they want to do and what they don't want to do. But yeah, it just works. It works.
You chose for the title of tonight's conversation, being productive instead of being busy. Why
Yeah.
is this, like, first of all, what I think people think that if they're busy, they're being productive. So define that, and then explain why this is, the distinction needs to be made and why this is so important now.
Well, I would have to say that this was a lesson or experience that I experienced early on in my business. I thought that I was that person. I'm like, I'm busy, so I'm going to be a millionaire. And in reality, I was just spinning my wheels. You know, I was just doing things, and there was really no structure around what I was doing, and I was really getting nowhere fast, basically. Being
Working harder, not smarter.
Right. Being as busy as I wasn't accomplishing the goals. I wasn't getting where I wanted to get because I was so busy. I was so busy. I could not take a breath and think about what it is that I was doing and what I wanted. So I quickly learned that lesson and kind of got it together. It was a little bit easier for me than it would have been for someone not in my position or in my business, because I knew systems. I knew that there were things out there that could help me be more productive. And the reason that being productive and not busy is extremely important to you, your family, your business is because it keeps your goals front and center. It keeps, like I was talking about that project management tool, it keeps your financial goals, it keeps your dreams right there in front of you, and you have steps in place to get to that point. It's like step A, step B, step C, and you're not at step Z first and have to work your way back to step A, and now you're back at step A.
Yes, I can't tell you how many times I have done that. And I think we've all done that. You know, we think we got it, and then we just keep doing it, and then we're exhausted. We're putting in 10, 12-hour days, and then you look back and you go, what did I even like accomplish? Like, how much money came in today? And you're like, and why is this taking so long? Because we just don't stop for a moment to put it into perspective, put it in order, schedule
Right.
properly.
Right. And so having that clear vision of what it is and always having those things front and center, and then creating a strategy around that. That way you're going to get to what it is that you were trying to get to.
Do
Instead
you
of just,
offer that? Do you offer that? Like, so let's say a new client comes on,
Mhm.
you sit with them. Do you create the vision? You go over the vision with them so that you're clear about what they want, and then to know the direction that you need to go with them?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't create their visions for them. Your
No,
vision
but
is
I mean, you help them
what.
through it. I mean, you help
Yes,
them
yep,
through it.
working through it. What's your strategy? Like, what's your end game? We do start there. You know, where are you trying to go? And then these are the steps that we think that you can take to achieve that within your business and structurally. And system.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of strategy in what we do with our clients.
Do you ever get businesses that are just so detached from their vision and the direction, and they're just sort of winging it? And even if they've been in business for a while,
Most people are winging it. Believe it or
huh?
not. Most of us are winging it, or
Yeah.
most of us, they're winging it. And it's like,
Yeah.
huh? You're here, you're doing this, and it has absolutely nothing to do with where you're trying to go.
Oh
And
my
so,
God.
yeah, we definitely help them kind of get back on track. Um, and I've had a lot of clients thank us, thank us for that. Thank you for, bringing me back to where it was that I started or what I wanted to do.
Because listen, I'm telling you, what you do is huge because I teach as a coach that usually people get stuck in their, not just like they have a business. I'm just talking their life vision. They get stuck because they're so stressed out about where they're going or where they're not going.
Mhm.
And the stress fills in this area of their brain. And the moment you relieve some of that stress, take away some of that stuff, it gives space to create. It's
Right.
like being still. Like when you have that time in the morning when you just are, it's quiet and you do your thing. That's why I have that time in the morning, is to just be still for that moment where you have a clear head to where you have the room. You've made room for that to elaborate on that vision.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be shocked if, or let me say it this way, I would not be shocked if your clients say to you, like, you saved my business because I was able to do so much more because you took away the stuff that I didn't even need to be worrying about.
Right. Or introduced me to some things that I didn't even know were possible.
Yes.
So yeah, we get that a lot. We get that a lot. And it brings me so much joy, to know that something that I helped with or put in place was not only able to save their business, because a lot of us are in business. Our business and our life coincide so much. And it's not just that we save their business, but now I have more time to spend with my son. I had someone tell me, I was able to take my son to school this morning because I had a little bit more time to do so. So those are the things that really light me up.
Yeah.
Those are the types of things that really okay, I'm working in this area that I really like to work in, and it's working.
Yeah.
So those are the types of things, because if you're spending 60 hours a week on your business, like, it leaves a little time for your family.
Yeah. And you don't get that time back like that. There's been so many people over the years that put so much heart and soul and time and into their business and building it, and then they let all these other things, go out of the way. And again, they'll say, because that was the old mindset. It's like, oh no, you have to work really hard. You have to work hard to build. But I think over the years we've said, but you could work hard, but to a certain level. But if you're working smarter, you're more productive, and you're not working harder in the end. You're putting in the extra time to develop it even more. And I think over the years we've found that we want to be more abundant in our life. Not, success used to just be, oh, how big is my office and how much money am I bringing in? But my home life, I'm on like divorce number 3, and and my kids all hate me and they don't want to talk to me, and they don't know me because I'm never home. And we realize that that's not ideal anymore. It's like we want it all, and we can have it all. It's a matter of, creating the balance within our business to help create the balance in our home life.
It's your job as a business owner to be the visionary for your business and to work on helping the people or creating the product or service that you are supposed to, your purpose, I guess you could say, in doing that, and not necessarily working on the back end stuff, like not being the accounting person or the social media person or those types of things. It takes you away from what it is that you initially wanted to do, or the people that you wanted to serve, or and things like that. So
Yes, it does. And I will speak from experience being a one-woman show currently. My dog's going to start barking. This is just fabulous. It's me being a one-woman show right now. it's starting to catch up now. So now I have to make big decisions because you're right. It's like you're doing the bookkeeping and you're sending out payments. Thank God for auto pay for a lot of stuff, but that takes time. But it's like booking this and doing that and doing this. And then all of a sudden, you know, you have the scheduling, and I love the schedule. Like I love the Google schedule, like the Google Calendar's been like the godsend, and I just started using it. That's the irony behind it. But I look at it and I'm like, oh, okay, I have this time to do this, but then something else comes up, and then and all of a sudden, you know, I'm not doing it, or this thing took longer than I thought. Right. I need a dog walker is what I need, because this dog keeps whining to get out of here. I'm so sorry. Like she's just, my goodness. So
I tell you, having 5 kids, I don't even hear that dog.
Listen, I thank you for that. I appreciate
it. Tune it out.
Oh my God. So, so where could people find you, and you know, where could they reach out to get, you know, like if they're having some challenges with their business and they think, because sometimes, you know, here's the deal, viewers, like you don't sometimes even know if you need a virtual assistant, but just think about things that are going on, and if there's pieces that are, actually, I'll let you answer that.
Right.
What would you recommend? How could they evaluate their business to determine if they could use a virtual assistant?
We offer a productivity assessment.
Nice.
And so what we do is we'll go in, if you have systems, we'll assess them, or we'll recommend some systems that you can work with. Then from there, we'll tell you areas that you could use someone to assist you in. So you can definitely go to our website to sign up for that. It's www.thesava, SAV like Victor A, group.com. We're all over social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, the SAVA group. You can always reach out to me personally, Shequana Hughes, SHEQUANA Hughes. I know people probably wouldn't be able to spell it, or find me there. But yeah, we offer a lot of free advice on our website. We have blogs to help you navigate through hiring someone, or systems that you can use within your business, even if you're not ready to do that. So yes, definitely take advantage of those resources that we offer. And if you have questions that's not available there, you could always reach out to me as well.
That's great. And I'm going to put all your information on the comment section too, so people can see it, and as people view this later. And I just have to say, I haven't heard one of your 5 children, and I have one in the room, and that's all I keep hearing is just my one kid, and I haven't heard anybody from your household. So
they know,
my friend.
Mommy is on a call, so we have to be quiet.
That is beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. So, you know, Shequana, thank you so much for coming on. And really, you know, still a lot of people don't quite know what virtual assistants do or what they are. But I think as time goes on, people are going to realize how necessary they are. You know,
sooner than later now.
Yes.
It's sooner than later. You're going to have to
agree.
Get on the bandwagon.
I definitely agree. So before we go, I just wanted to give some shout outs. We had a lot of people come on today. So I wanted to say hi, Anna, Riano, Margarita Chapman. Thank you for coming on. And she said, hello, beautiful ladies. And Michelle Houston, hi. She said, hi, ladies. Carol Cruz, hi, Carol. Jana said, hi, Jana. Eric Marie Pila, and Erica. And Michelle Houston said, thank you, ladies. Thank you, Shequana, with a heart. So, yes, thank you so much for coming on. And I'm going to give your information. And seriously, folks, you know, this is great. You know, she offers an evaluation, and if you feel like, you know, you're running on empty and you can't create that balance and you're overwhelmed, just reach out to Shequana and her company and see, you know, and they'll let you know how they can help you. If you need the help, if you need a lot of help, if you need mental help, she'll just make it, you know, a suggestion, right? But you can't help that piece. But you do inevitably. So thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And again, everybody, thank you so much for tuning into Mindful Conversations. We will be back next week with another fabulous guest and a wonderful interview. And remember, everybody, be you, be real, and be extraordinary. Thanks so much for joining.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.